Hello guys, happy Sunday. Been asked my opinion on the current shenanigans in Okinawan karate and the Aggie show, I think they're called, who have become the gatekeepers to the dojo in Okinawa, who you need to go through in order to gain access now to these places. Now, saw this coming maybe between 10 to 15 years ago. I lose track of time, but it was a long time ago. You started seeing the emergence of the likes of David Chambers and the Classical Fighting Arts magazine. And then there were another few foreigners who were starting to position themselves as kind of the go-betweens, in that it was implied you had to go through their organizations in order to gain access to the traditional dojo. It was very much implied by their advertising that it was a closed door thing and you could not just turn up, you could not ask permission, you needed these people to get your foot in the door, which for any of you guys who have been there know that is complete bullshit. Obviously they were charging a premium for these services, they were taking a little bit on the top, they were probably paying the Okinawans a pittance for it while they were building their empires, hence the reason I was quite vocal at the time, and which did wonders for my ever declining. I'm not very well liked in the martial arts world, should we say? Now, come full circle, I think what's happened is the Okinawans and not even the Okinawan teachers, but again, certain organisations who are seeking to exploit people, who are seeking to profit off of the work of others, have seen an opportunity. They've seen an opportunity whereby, foreigners are willing to spend and invest a significant amount of money to fly over to Okinawa. If they're willing to invest that amount of money on flights and hotels and cost of living out there, well, chances are they're going to pay a premium for training, right? So why not exploit that? Hence the reason we now come to where we are now. You got the Karate Kaikan, you got all these, they were doing these promotional tours prior to COVID where they were showcasing the art and trying to develop interest in tourism and traveling to Okinawa for the Okinawan karate experience. And meanwhile, those of us who had kind of been there and, done it off our own legwork, were left there scratching our head thinking, what the hell's going on here? Because again, there was this implied message that you could only do it through these channels. Now, I don't know the current situation. I don't know if it now is a little bit of a closed door. I suspect it's not still. I suspect very much that if you were to go to any of these classical dojo, if you were to bow, say onegaishimasu and request teaching, I'm pretty sure that there would be no problem and there would be no difference to how it always has been. The only difference being you might have to pay a little bit more money now, but that is what it is. But the problem I get with it is, again, it's just this kind of implied message that you have to go through these channels, and I think it's wrong. I think it's exploiting people. I think it's promising people something that they're not going to get. And again, prime example, these classical fighting tours. I don't know if they're still running, but the David Chambers thing, whereby you experience, 5 or 6 different teachers across multiple different disciplines over the course of a 2-week period. And what you were getting was basically stand in line, do, your basic techniques, punches, blocks, kicks, and you're getting, junior school level martial arts. But then you go back home and you say, well, I trained in Okinawa. You haven't. And again, I'm quite vocal about it, that even if you don't go this route, even if you are not partaking in these mass group tuition situations whereby everybody's learning baby school karate, even if you're not doing that, even if you're going off your own back, I think generally speaking, you're being spoon-fed crap. To be frank, I honestly do. Unless you find these small little golden nuggets hidden within these dojo, even within the bigger dojo. Those of you who Jundokan, you will know there is the odd teacher here or there who you go to get the gold from. Whether it's Meibukan, it might not be the most well-known teacher in there. It might be the guy who just quietly gets on in the background. These are the golden nuggets, and these are the ones that you're trying to always seek out as the foreigner training in Okinawa and trying to get that real Okinawan experience. But the more time goes by and the less interested I am in what's going on over there, you know, so much so that, you know, this was news to me when I saw it on these forums over the past weekend. But I see this real divergence as time passes of this traditional old school, the old guard, you know, the likes of Miyazato Eiichi, all that kind of era of teachers who were principled men who stood for something, who, you know, tried to pass on the art as best they could. And I see now a real divergence away from that towards more business orientated, towards more mass appeal, towards more just I think it's lost something. I think it's lost its essence. And the more we cling to Okinawa as the source, the more we cling to these ninth dans, 10th dans, Hanshi, whatever other, you know, nonsensical title we're attaching to these people and the pedestals we're putting them on, I think we are digging ourselves further and further into obscurity as an art in general. So what is the remedy? What is the antidote to this? The antidote to this, I believe, is by you guys setting the example. Not looking to Okinawa, not looking to Japan, not looking to head honchos or organizations or any of this shit. It's down to you guys in your own dojo to be researching, to be questioning, to be teaching the art, to be, you know, cross-training and testing yourself, getting outside the realms of flat dojo floor and everyone in a uniform, going to an MMA, going to a BJJ, going to Muay Thai, going to Salat, going to, you know, whatever it is you're gonna do, cross-training and finding these links and finding these ultimate truths and connective cogs that are the component parts of every single viable, effective martial art on the planet. But the more we get kind of like befuddled by the mists of confusion and the bullshit trappings of every martial art, this isn't unique to karate, this is Kung Fu, BJJ, Muay Thai, man, everything's the damn same. Everything is a game. Everything is a big illusion. And our role, or not our role, our job as martial artists, as inquisitive martial artists, as people on the path, is to try to, you know, peel back those clouds of mystery and illusion and say, well, what is this art trying to teach? What is the truth that I see repeated in this art, repeated in this art, repeated in this Western art, repeated in this Middle Eastern art? Because anything that's tested, anything that's effective is built upon the same principles. So what are those principles? Anyway, guys, that's just my thoughts on the subject. Like I say, some of you guys have been asking me to chime in on it, so I thought I would. Not naming any names as such, apart from David Chambers. I can't stand that guy. But, you know, the dojo in Okinawa, at the end of the day, don't blame them, right? They're trying to recover somewhat after being shut for best part of 3 years because Okinawa lost its mind over all this COVID nonsense. So they've been shut for a hell of a long time, and they've got to try and rescue their dojo somehow. So I don't blame them. I blame the people trying to cream a little bit off the top and trying to exploit them, I think, because the people doing so have no talent of their own and they're trying to profit off of the back of other people's hard work and other people's talent. And that's just my 2 cents. Have a great day, guys, and I'll speak to you next week.